Although there are lots of source projects available today, we also have to admit that it can be challenging to find one that a beginner can easily pick up and learn from. With that said, here are three projects that I learned from. The first one was actually really helpful when I applied for a job and I was asked to build out that exact functionality. And the other two are just nice to know. And at the end of the video, I'll also be sharing with you how you get to learn from open source projects without actually understanding the whole application. The first project is Upright. If you don't know what Upright is, it is the backend as a service, just like Firebase, which means it handles things such as authentication, storage, and database, and so much more. The functionality I had to build The functionality I learned from is the navigation bar that hides when you scroll up and show when you start to that hides when you scroll down and shows when you start to scroll up. When I saw the description in the challenge, I immediately remembered I saw this on the site. So I went to the GitHub repo for the website and it's somewhere in the source. And the code is not that straightforward. The code is a bit here and there. And to top it all off, it was written in Svelte, and I had no idea how to write Svelte. So I had AI help me a bit. So it was a little bit of AI trying to help me, you know, translate the code to a language that I actually initially translated to it changed it to vanilla JavaScript so I could understand it better. And yeah, AI helped me there. And this on my own, I could have just add. I did work on this on my own, but I really did not get the function that very well. So I had to. I just had to. I had to come to the website repo here to dig and find the components folder. There I found basically there I found the navbar. So it was a tough one for me, but I do appreciate open source for being available. So I was able to learn from that. Now the second one is Vue.use. Vue.use is the most popular Vue.js plugin with lots of functionalities and utilities. It was the on-click outside function for this one. I even made it into a video. Although I can understood the on-click outside function before checking out the code on their GitHub repo, but it's a different story when you try to implement it, and there are also many tiny nuances you'd have to deal with too. They still have a bunch of other functionalities, and they still have other bunch of functionalities that I plan to look at when I have the time. Really good resource if you're planning to build your own library. Now, the third one would be one of my favorites. It's Nuxt Lego. A lot of people probably have never heard of this library, but it's a UI component library for Nuxt, built by the same guy that brought us Radix View and Shadcn View. This guy, Zernonia. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Zernonia. It's a really cool library that I do hope to contribute to in the near future when I can. And if my contributions actually gets merged, the whole UI library is made available to your Nuxt app with Nuxt layers. So this gives you one of the many use cases of real world use cases of Nuxt layers, and it's awesome already. And we can do so many things with Nuxt layers, and we just to use this in our app, we just have to extend Knox Lego, and that's it. So imagine building out a whole application and just extending it with next layers, that's really going to be changing, life changing. Developers can basically build one app and have multiple people, multiple clients use it, and can provide one API key for one and charge them for it, and without having to share the actual code, just that layer. So it's really nice to know that Nox layers are being used this way, and there's a real world example for it. So, guys, those are the three projects. Now, coming back to how you can actually learn from an open source project without actually understanding everything. So, what most people do when they're trying to learn from open source project is understanding the whole application. So, the whole application, that's what they want to do. Imagine if I told you I learned from Upright, someone might think I learned the whole database function storage, messaging and new all of that stuff that Upright just offers out of the box. But really, all I learned from is just all I needed is just this nav bar. So this comes to this. Instead of trying to understand the whole application, why don't you just take the bits that you need? So why don't you just focus on what you need? Like maybe it's the nav bar, maybe it's one really good component that looks really, really good that you like, or maybe it's just the footer. It's just the footer. You don't know. Just take what you need instead of trying to understand the whole application. You just have to focus on what you need. You have to really focus on what you need instead of trying to understand the whole application. So, guys, there you have it. I hope you found this really helpful. I do intend to meet you guys here next time I upload a video. So, thank you. Cheers.